Hi everybody, and welcome back to Truth Tuesday. Tackling daily life in addition to accomplishing your goals can sometimes be overwhelming. It is easy to place blame on innate factors like I'm always late, I'm just not an organized person, and the like. Productivity is precipitated by routine and efficiency. Try one or all 5 of these habits to boost your productivity and notice a difference in your everyday. Number 1 is set your intentions for the day. Usually we are on our phones at the end of the night, so why not take the time to write down tasks or plans for the next day? If you're more of a morning person, you can do this in the morning, but setting your intentions for the following or current day can keep you accountable and on track. Writing down your tasks will greatly increase the chances of them being completed because it adds that physicality aspect to them. Sometimes when we're busy, we forget important things to be done, and at the end of the day, we recount them while we're lying in bed and think, oh crap, I forgot to do that. Sometimes we're lazy and don't have much to do during the day, and because we don't have a set list, we kind of get distracted and don't accomplish the task either. And studies have proven that when we add physicality to our goals or our tasks, we are more likely to complete them, especially when we can cross them off at the end. This process can be made very simple. For example, we have a whiteboard board in our household in the kitchen, and we write down things that we have to do the next day, like do laundry, feed the pets so they don't starve, and etc. 2 is make your task items actionable and achievable. The way you write your task list is just as important as writing it. Instead of writing laundry, write do laundry. This small change turns your task into a verb and requires action, triggering your subconscious into completing this task. And make your task list achievable. Is it possible to do 8 loads of laundry in a day? Probably, but it will leave little room for anything else, and honestly, that sounds terrible. A little bit of progress is still progress, and therefore, do 2 loads of laundry will mean a check mark on that to-do list. 3 is make note of your most productive hours and action accordingly. While studies show that most people are more productive at the beginning of their day, sometimes if you work a full-time job, which starts in the morning, you don't always have the time to fulfill those tasks that you need to get done. This also doesn't take into consideration people that work night shift. The most efficient way to do all your difficult tasks is to recognize when you are your most productive. Even though I would love to be a morning person, I'm not, and therefore I find that I am most productive in the early afternoon, and I plan all my trying tasks around that time. Number 4 is give your task 100% of the time. Multitasking is fake news. Mark Manson said it best in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Enough, when he says that multitasking isn't real. You are half-assing your focus on 2 different things. You can only give one task 100% of your attention. This can create mental exhaustion by directing and redirecting your focus on too many things at once, as it takes your brain time to readjust and refocus on a task. This will then result in the task not being completed at 100% capacity. Or this means that it's just going to take longer for you to complete this task. Multitasking may seem efficient, but in reality, it looks like trying to carry all the groceries in at once and dropping stuff all over the floor and pulling a muscle when you just should have made 2 trips. It is more efficient to focus your time and energy on completing something with your full attention and giving it 100% rather than trying to do it halfway. Number 5 is self-care. If you don't have children or you have a normal amount of free time, you might think that this one is silly because you have tons of you time. You watch TV, you sit on your phone and peruse social media, etc. Are you really spending that time to feel good about yourself and contribute to your mental well-being? Try designating 30 to 45 minutes a day, a week, whatever makes you feel good. Leave this time for something that makes you feel content and contributes to your overall mental stability. For example, taking a bath, reading a book, meditation, listening to music. By designating that time solely for your enjoyment, you give yourself something to look forward to and a part of your day that is meant for you and your mental health. A recent client of mine said that she took 30 minutes out of her day at the end of the night before going to sleep, and she reported better sleep and more productivity during the day. These are 5 simple steps that will contribute to your overall well-being on a day-to-day basis. Now let me package them up for you and show you what they look like when they are implemented into a normal routine.
Setting intentions.
At night before bed, I look at my today task list on my phone and check my calendar to see if I've missed anything. Depending on the day and if I have to work, I may have more or less to do.
Actionable and achievable tasks.
My task list may look like this: nail appointment, take a money for Mother's Day gift, buy toothpaste, bring down the patriarchy.
Productive hours.
I am more productive in the early afternoon, so I'll definitely have the energy to bring down the patriarchy around 2 or 3 p.m.
Avoidance of multitasking.
If I have to meal prep for the week, I only focus on doing that while I'm in the kitchen. Once I finish my cooking, I then sit down and check my emails or edit a video, and I do those one at a time rather than simultaneously.
Self-care.
At the end of the day, I might take a bath and listen to my favorite podcast, or I'll sit down and watch an hour of my show while leaving my phone in the other room. And there you have it. These simple tricks take up little to no time and help improve your productivity. That's it for Truth Tuesday. Make sure you go to my forum at northernresolutions.com/forum, and you can ask me any questions on life, love, or work. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and have a great week, everyone.